Hey everybody, I'm back, and the holiday season is roaring in. It's absolutely coming in. Today I'm drinking a truly pineapple lemonade. Not one of my favorites, but I'm sure I'll figure out a way to get it down during this video. And there you go. Just a little update on my new pronouns. One has been added, and I'm going to give you an example. Nobody ever cleans the bathroom floor. Nobody ever goes down in the basement and cleans the lint out of the dryer. By nobody, once again, it means me. Nobody is me, so we're just going to add that on the list of my pronouns. So now in my bio, when you read it, it's going to say somebody, we, and nobody. They're all me. Once again, my new pronouns, my wife is going woke. Cheers to my wife. Going woke. Now, let me ask you a question. It's tax season, the end of the year is coming up. We're all wrapping around our taxes. I look at my check, 30%'s gone in taxes. I go out and spend my money, they take it 8.5%. I save my money, they take what I make from the savings, they tax that. I pay taxes on my houses. I went to get a leisure pass. They paid tax on the leisure pass. I'm getting taxed to death. But I want to know, what country treats their citizens like they're a young male going into a maximum security prison and then sends their money to foreign countries? What country does that? Oh, wait. There's not an answer. If you got one, leave it in the comments when you leave me a thumbs up or when you subscribe or when you pass it on. We're giving our money away. But now, Joe Biden is pissed. Word is out that he's pissed. Somebody must have woke him up from his nap and said the GOP is not allowing him to pass the bill to give another billions and billions to Ukraine to keep their war going to save their democracy. Well, Joe, listen. There's no democracy over there. They canceled the elections for the foreseeable future. There is no democracy. It's a democracy in name. It's a money laundering business for you and your fellow government officials. That's all it is. They're the biggest money laundering company in theory in the world. They take all your money, they launder it, they give it back to you. You got millions, Joe. That's all it is. I can't be mad at this. Absolutely furious. But the dementia is going to send Joe even further because he made some comments. After he refused to answer questions. Well, the refusal was, Joe, did you get money from Ukraine? No, that's a lie. We have bank statements. That's a lie. Your son said that's a lie. Everything's a lie. Everything's a lie. Joe's not going to talk about it, but it may be a lie to him because, if you believe your lie so long, as George Costanza will tell you, it's the truth. It's his truth now. It's no longer a lie. He didn't do any of this. But I digress. He came out in the same conference and he said, we may consider putting men on the ground in Ukraine to fight Russia. All men or women who is ever willing to fight for the United States of America should not step 1 foot in Ukraine to fight the Russians. We heard for years that Trump's going to get us into World War III. Does anybody want to revisit that? Would anybody like to recant who's going to get us into World War III? Because this is insanity. Insanity. Absolutely insanity. I have to tell you. And I know insane because I see it every single day here in New York. Some other fool. The president of, look at this, she was the president of the National Women's Law Center, went to Congress to speak about Title IX for athletes. First of all, I'm not sure how being president of the Women's Law Center qualifies you to talk about Title IX and women's rights, but she went in front of Congress and she said, women need to lose gracefully to biological men. Can you imagine that? Women, Title IX, women who fought hard to get their rights where they are right now, they need to lose gracefully. Before that, she said that the white men in the NBA need to learn how to lose gracefully to the black men in the NBA. So there's that. We call that equality and diversity. I'm just saying, keeping it real, man. I'd say calling a spade, but somebody may call me a racist for that. So let's call it whitey a whitey. We'll create our own sayings here with Angry Mac on this rainy Sunday in New York. California, $68 billion deficit is projected. And this Gavin Newsom is being propped up as a future presidential candidate. I'm just waiting to see how this spin comes around to blame the deficit on Trump. Just saying, because we know that'll happen. It's funny. Before Trump was president, he was not charged with a single felony his whole life, 67 to 68 years, however many years it was before he was voted president. He's not charged with a felony while he's president. He's not charged with a felony until after he's president and he says, I'm going to run for president again. Next thing you know, 91 felonies. Does it make sense to anybody? They waited till the guy was, 75, 76 years old. Says, you know what? We got 91 in the sack. Let's get going. We can't have this guy in office. Why can't you have him in office? Because he breaks shit. That's it. Now, people think that I am this big MAGA Trump guy. I'm a realist. I see what's going on. I don't like Biden. I don't like him. It'd be great as my Uncle Joe coming down here, get the guy some cake and some pie, make sure Uncle Joe's fine in the corner over there. I just don't want him as president. That doesn't make me a diehard MAGA supporter, which, you know what, if you're extreme left or you're extreme right, you got some screws loose to begin with. There should be no extremes. The country needs to be more in the middle. That's the only way we're going to unite. I'm just saying. But once again, that's crazy talk with Angry Irish Mac. I was a little fired up today. Got the house to myself, probably for about another 40 minutes. Start cooking and drinking on a Sunday night. Be fantastic. Then we got Putin. Vladimir Putin is going for another term. Can you imagine? He wants to be elected again. I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion, but I'll tell you what. I want the guy running against him as the guy I have in the death pool. The guys that run against Putin, some reason, always seem to wind up dead. I want that guy. Can't pronounce his name. He's probably got a lot of vowels in there. But that's the guy I want in the death pool for next month. As soon as he announces it, I want him the month after. That's your guy right there. The death pool is interesting because this month, Norman Lear died. He's 101 years old, and he wasn't the oldest in the death pool. There's some old bag, 102. But the guy everybody wants is Jimmy Carter. This old bastard, man, he has been playing possum for months in hospice. We've had him written off for months, and he keeps holding on, man. Horrible president, great humanitarian. Yo, Jimmy Carter, hold on as long as you can. You're going to ruin somebody's death pool because you're going to be the second to go that month. Then I'm reading in the newspaper about fatigue syndrome. Fatigue syndrome is really crippling everybody. It's crippling Gen Z. They're so fatigued and overworked, and sleep not's going to do it. You know what? Fatigue syndrome's nothing but being married with a couple of squirrels running around because you can't keep your eyes open in a day because you're filled with crap you got to do with everybody else. Fatigue syndrome is called real life and working a job and getting your shit done. Fatigue syndrome. Why are we making up syndromes for Generation X? Very soft coddle generation. So somebody's got to kick those guys in the balls. Oh, did I just say that? Somebody's got to kick those girls in the balls. Just saying, girls' balls. And my mother, when I took my mother out for her birthday the other day, she's Captain Obvious, my mother. She's the original Captain Obvious. She calls the house. And she says, oh, hi, you home? No, I'm not home, Ma. She goes, oh, I just called the house. I said, where do you think I am? What do you think? I had some work done on my car. I had to take my brother's car. It's at my mother's house. My brother lives in Colombia. He's probably laundering money. God only knows what he's doing. But I'm driving his car around. I dropped the car off at home. She's not home. She calls me up. She goes, oh, you dropped the car off? Once again, I said, no, it's in my driveway. She goes, whose car's out here? I can't make it up. And if you see my mother, can you take the phone? I've asked it many times. I'm sick and tired of looking at pictures of people's children I don't know. A little pet peeve of mine. I hate it. Got a little Tony Bennett Christmas on today. I love Tony Bennett. Sorry the man is passed. Sorry the man is passed. Happy birthday, Mom. So one of the squirrels got a little talking to at school the other day. He was making fun of another kid. He's very aware of bullying, you know, but he's making fun of somebody. He's with some other kids. Who knows what happened? But I said, dude, what were you doing? He goes, well, I was calling another squirrel Manchild. I said, why'd you call him Manchild? I said, you know, it's not right. You can't call anybody Manchild. Why Manchild? He goes, well, Dad, he's got a face like a man and a body like a child. I call him Manchild. I can't make this stuff up. Manchild. I mean, he's right, but you can't make fun of the kids. You can't make fun of the kids. Speaking of school in Wisconsin canceled Spirit Week. The whole week. You know why they canceled Spirit Week? Because one day they had USA Pride Day. It was a problem. You can't have USA Pride living in USA. So they canceled the whole week to avoid controversy. Seems like canceling it brought on the controversy. If you had it, we've just been a proud... Where have we gone, America, where we're no longer proud to be Americans? Where have we gone? Finished this week with a little advice. And it piggybacks from last week's, really. Dear Angry Mac, my 18-year-old college freshman is in a relationship with a 34-year-old. I don't approve of this. An 18-year-old is a child. No matter how smart your 18-year-old is, the knowledge they have fits in a dimple. So I may side with Mom on this one. Let's see what else she has to say. Putting aside all issues that I have with that, she said she'll be staying with him over the break. I'm not sure how to respond, and I'm not sure what she's looking for. Well, Mom, I can tell you what she's looking for. She's 18, he's 34. You do the math, the birds and the bees. I'm assuming he identifies as a man and your daughter identifies as a woman. You know how this works, right? 34, 18, she's gonna stay over there for the holidays. She's looking to fool around. She's looking for some sexy time, Mom. That's what it is. You know what you should do? You should tell, hey, sweetheart, listen, you're 18 years old. I can't control what you want to do, but he's 34. I think it's wrong. Sit it down. She's either going to listen or she's not going to listen. Then what you do is you pour yourself a drink and you deal with the impending pregnancy and then get over it. I don't know what else to tell you after that. Have a drink. She's going to do what she wants. 18-year-olds rebel. They do what they want to do. But 34 and 18, what I would suggest, your husband or her brothers have a little talk with this 34-year-old man. Because no man of 34-year-old dates an 18-year-old. They may have some crazy ideas, but they don't do it. Now listen, Christmas is coming up. The holidays are coming up. Happy Hanukkah. It's one of the nights of Hanukkah. Night 4, 8, 5. If you're one of those fools who get offended when I tell you Merry Christmas, go shit in a hat. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. They're words of joy and pleasantry. Now go find somebody you love. Give them a hug. Tell them you love them. The most 3 important words in any language, anywhere, is I love you. Hey, let me finish this pineapple lemonade. Cheers, brothers.